presence here today for our special meeting that was called to coincide with the 100 days of our new administration. We're going to begin today's meeting with some comments from the commissioners on the occasion of the 100 days, and we look forward to not only having comments on the first 100 days, but some significant action in this meeting later on. Today marks the 100th day of our new administration and a new era in Montgomery County government. In my remarks at the community college as we were sworn in, I said that our core mission would be twofold. First, to look out for county residents and local communities each and every day. And second, to reform our county government to make it work again. I said on that first Tuesday in January that rancor and acrimony will give way to respect and accord, and that our Board of Commissioners will be a model for civic engagement and accomplishment. In 100 days, we have done just that. Gone are the days of squabbling, punting, and irresponsibility. Our initial months in office have ushered in a time of civility, integrity, and results. They have been long days with seemingly endless meetings, discussions, and decisions. Recently, a county employee from the Office of Children and Youth asked me, "How's it going?" I replied, "It's like drinking water from a fire hose." And I love it. Today, as we reflect on our first 100 days in office and look forward to the next 1,360, I am stunned by the scope of the mess we inherited, but more optimistic than even just 1 month ago that we will reverse this troubling course we were on, and we are heading in the right direction. So why am I so optimistic? 3 reasons. First, my 2 colleagues. I'm honored to have been chosen to chair this board by them, and truly proud to serve alongside 2 accomplished professionals whose unique leadership abilities have enabled us to begin to reshape county government. This county is fortunate to have Leslie and Bruce, committed commissioners with such diverse life experiences and expertise. I've tried to tap into this by asking each of them to assume significant responsibilities in the new administration as a way of broadening our reach and ensuring that each commissioner's voice is heard. Second, we surrounded ourselves with exceptionally qualified staff who are laboring tirelessly to carry out our vision and turn this county government around. In each instance, before we have brought on a new member of our leadership team, we first assessed how to best structure the department or the office in order to make it run efficiently and effectively, then conduct a thoughtful search for a talented and qualified individual. One of the best examples of this is in the solicitor's office. Long dominated by more than a dozen part-time solicitors without, in some cases, the requisite skills to handle the matters before them, we're changing the structure to create a law department with skilled, full-time attorneys and staying within our budget. Efficient, effective government. I'm proud of the fact that our administration boasts the first woman chief operating officer, 2 male executive administrators, the first African-American chief public defender, a qualified HR professional, a CFO recognized for his wonkiness as a best affiliate in Philadelphia Magazine, a solicitor with impeccable legal training and credentials, a communications director second to none, and countless others who are leaving a positive, indelible mark on our county government. The result of these personnel changes is not just new faces, rather a highly qualified, diverse team that is by far the best leadership team that this county has ever seen. This will be the formula as we continue to utilize, as we continue to remake this government. The third reason I'm so optimistic is our county family. We made it a point to begin visiting each employee. It wasn't so much to just simply shake their hands, but rather to listen to their ideas. The overarching takeaway from our initial visits, and there will certainly be more, is that morale was low due to a feeling that some past commissioners did not value, or in some cases, did not even know of their work. We are changing that culture, and we do value their work. We've even made changes to the physical plans to meet their needs, from nursing mothers' rooms to new outdoor spaces to congregate to a cleaner courthouse. We appreciate what they do, and we want them to work in a positive and productive environment. These 3 cores, our commissioners, our staff leadership, and our county family, form the nucleus for what we will need Leslie and I campaigned for this office, we were assured the county finances were sound and had the impression that if we could eliminate some waste and refocus a few priorities, we would do just fine. We knew there were challenges, but the problems are far worse than we collectively expected. The county faces fiscal challenges on both the operational and capital side. We face these obstacles because for too long, necessary capital repairs were ignored, important policy decisions were punted, and some prior leaders failed to plan for the new fiscal realities we face, from state cuts to a slow economy. Their poor decision-making, or at times lack thereof, led to waste, higher labor costs, and unsustainable priorities. In some ways, it was like they thought if they simply ignored the problems that they would go away. Well, they didn't, and now it's our responsibility to address them, and we will. In fact, the prior leaders were unable to make the tough decisions necessary to balance their own budget. As a result, we've already cut $6.4 million and had a short-term borrowing of $25 million to ensure that we could pay our expenses in the near term. Our debt stands at $418 million today. Our debt service eats up 10% of our total budget and nearly 20% of our tax revenues. Yet, today we find ourselves facing more than $130 million in capital needs that were disregarded by the previous boards that must be acted upon soon. You know, it was obvious for years that the garage under the courthouse was crumbling and the facade of 1 Montgomery Plaza was coming unhinged, and yet nothing was done to address the structural deficiencies, and insufficient capital funds were left to fix these glaring problems. While these are obvious, I'm not sure that some of the people who occupy these seats before us recognize the full extent of the challenges that we face. But friends, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Through our analysis of our infrastructure needs that Commissioner Richards has played the leadership role in, we face at least $100 million in capital costs to fix our county infrastructure like roads and bridges. Commissioner Castor is spearheading the information gathering for the upgrade of our emergency communications system for first responders that will no doubt cost tens of millions of dollars. This is an action that should have been taken last year, but became entangled in political gamesmanship and ineptitude. I'm happy, however, that it was left to us, because now we can ensure that the process and the outcome are sound. Please don't mistake this recitation of challenges as whining. In fact, we have not sat around wringing our hands. Instead, we've assessed and we have executed decisively. But we believe that our constituents need to know the extent of the problems that we face. As promised, an inventory of our county infrastructure began. Consultants were hired to identify the scope of the infrastructure problems and come up with various options to fix and finance those needs. We chose to be thoughtful and deliberative in our process, but not delay, to ensure that the county infrastructure is sound and that our taxpayers have the confidence that we are investing their hard-earned dollars wisely. This year, we will announce several actions to address our infrastructure needs. On the operations side, we have already begun our budget process, nearly 8 months earlier than when the 2012 budget process commenced. The new zero-based budget will not reflect prior county budgets, but will reflect the priorities of this administration with an eye toward refocusing county government on its core functions and creating greater efficiencies and effectiveness. The public expects us to be responsible stewards of their hard-earned dollars. We are doing just that. Every decision we make takes into account what is the best value for the end user, our constituents, while ensuring a high level of service. We've implemented new systems to protect your tax dollars from being wasted or abused. One example is that now we require signed contracts before open space funds are released, a practice not used since the inception of the program in 1993, but one that is vital to protecting your tax dollars. In one of our first board meetings in January, I announced a working group to recommend to the commissioners a model procurement policy to ensure a level playing field and a good value for our taxpayers. I asked that they report back within the first 100 days. Today, this board will take action on that recommendation and will deliver on that promise of needed reform. We understand that it's not just about dollars and cents, but but a commitment to doing the right thing and acting with integrity. The three of us place a premium on honor and honesty and know that we need to lead by example and have the requisite policies in place to ensure clarity and fairness to all. The grand jury report was certainly instructive in this process, but these leaders don't need a grand jury report to know the difference between right and wrong. It is in our core, and it is reflected in our actions. In a few minutes, this board will consider a totally revamped ethics policy that values integrity and not one's political agenda. Like the procurement policy, this too is a commitment we made to act, and we will. We know we have to do a better job of communicating with our employees and our constituents. That's why I've begun regular email communications with the staff, why we started a new Facebook page and Twitter feed, and are laying the foundation for a total redesign of our website to bring our government closer to the people and make it more user-friendly. In fact, this increased communication has helped contribute to the improved morale that I spoke of earlier. Improving morale doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Look, we've shown up and we've engaged. We truly care. It doesn't cost anything. Our dedicated public property personnel are revitalizing the courthouse entrance. They restored the benches by the obelisk. They revamped the women's restroom in the courthouse, just to name a few of their efforts that lead to a better work environment. We have pride in what we do and a sense that we are all in this together. That's why today we tie our new communications effort with a new sense of pride together and announce a new Twitter hashtag, MontgoPride. We will use that to promote the county from this day forward. While today is an important day to report on our actions and an appropriate day to review our findings, it's just the beginning, and it's a very small milestone in a very, very long process. We have accomplished a good deal so far, but respectfully, we have barely scratched the surface. More challenges will no doubt be unearthed, and more tough choices will have to be made. I am mindful of the fact that we have a lot to do to prove ourselves to bring about real change, but we are off to a fast, productive, and positive start that has laid the groundwork for the challenges that lie ahead. We will continue to recruit knowledge so that we can make decisions in the best interest of the county in an ethical manner and with a laser beam-like focus on improving county government for our staff and, most importantly, for our constituents. I thank you for giving me a few moments of your time, and now look forward to the remarks of the Vice Chair of our Board, Commissioner